Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Co-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building. Take roll call. Councilman Donovan?
Here.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Here.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Here.
Councilman de Blasio?
Here.
Councilman Maroney?
Here. So please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, their families, and our first responders. Thank you. Tonight we're going to start with 3 presentations. The first one being our Eagle Scout project. Why don't you come on up and describe your project, and then we'll have some photo opportunities and explain to the public what it is that you've done.
My name's Aiden Gephardt, and I made a new flag retirement box for the Borough Hall. I saw that the old one was kind of just like a normal white box. It looked like pretty shabby. So I made a new, fresh one with an American flag decal and all the stuff required for it.
Excellent. That is turn it around so that members of the public can see.
Yeah, show us how to do it, because some of us are really bad with the rules.
Very good. So how do you get the flag in there? I see there's 2.
The flag would go into this one, and there's a bin inside, which would then open up this drawer to be collected.
Okay, and the collection is done by who?
You would decide that, who picks up the flag.
Okay, I don't know if we know that. Do we know who picks up our?
Should be up to any VFW. George does.
George? Okay. So we'll have to talk to George to find out what he does. Probably gets it too.
I know the gentleman from Taylor Hardware says he picks it up.
Good.
Because he donated a lot of the paint and stuff.
Okay.
And Jager donated the phone.
Okay, so we know the whole practice. Thank you very much. Why don't we take a picture? You would like to take a picture with your family or whoever else has assisted you with this? Council, you want to take a picture?
Oh, this is awesome.
Just thinking we should have done a resolution.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it.
Yeah.
Oh, because we were in.
It's okay.
Why don't you tell us who all these people are before we take the picture? So we get to know.
This is Evan. He's in my troop, 240 of Belmar. This is my dad. He helped a lot with making it.
Good.
My mom also helped. My brothers, Gavin and Patrick. And then I have leaders of my troop, Mr. Carlucci and Mr. Miles.
Very good, very good. They should all be proud of you.
Yeah.
It's a very good project. I'll get with that. So is that going out there as of tonight?
We can place
That's
it.
it?
Yeah.
You taking the old one?
Out of the garage, right?
We'll take the old one.
No, I'm just kidding.
Mayor, I should note that the Gephardt brothers are also Eagle Scouts.
Yes. But, well, any American.
That answers my question. Size American flag. Okay, everybody hear that? You know those ones for 4th of July? Yeah? I almost threw mine away. And I was told I had to find a receptacle.
All right,
So now,
you,
this is amazing. Good job.
Want to leave it here? All right, we'll leave it for now so you can get it in there.
I love it.
Well, we're not going to sit for long.
Oh, well, yeah, right.
Okay, our next presentation is a resolution honoring Valdemir's Salon. And Councilwoman Donovan is going to read that.
I have to say too that I was lucky enough to be able to go on the day they were actually celebrating, and the sense of community that is in the salon and the stories that I got to hear about one of their first customers going when she was 8, having a birthday party there and still getting her hair done at 33. It was such a testimony to why we love Belmar and the power of the local businesses on Main Street and their staying power. So thank you for coming tonight, and we are so happy to be able to honor your business. Resolution honoring Belmar Salon on the occasion of 25 years of outstanding service to the community. Whereas Belmar Salon has been a cornerstone of the Belmar community for 25 years, providing exceptional hair and beauty services with dedication and professionalism. And whereas the success and longevity of Belmar Salon reflects not only business expertise, but also a genuine connection to the community and its residents, creating a welcoming space where relationships are built and trust is earned. And whereas achieving 25 years in business represents perseverance, adaptability, and an unwavering dedication to customer satisfaction in an ever-evolving industry. And whereas Belmar Salon has contributed to the economic success and character of Belmar, serving as a valued local business and employer within our community. And whereas this milestone anniversary is worthy of recognition and celebration, honoring the hard work, creativity, and passion that have made Belmar Salon a beloved establishment. Now therefore be it resolved that we hereby extend our heartfelt congratulations and sincere appreciation to Belmar Salon on the occasion of its 25th anniversary and commend the establishment for its outstanding service, commitment to excellence, and lasting contributions to the Belmar community. Be it further resolved that we wish Belmar Salon continued success and prosperity in the years ahead. Thank you.
And then I guess you guys should stay down here for the, yeah. Oh, congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, Winnie. Thank you very much. That's for you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'll balance her out on this
There
side.
you go.
Flag box.
You still look great.
Thank you.
You
want us to stay there?
I gotta do the,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, and now we're going to have a presentation from the chair of our Harbor Commission on the 2025 end of year report. So without further ado, as soon as I get this to actually present. There.
Hi, I'm Roy Childers. I'm chairman of the Harbor Commission. And I don't think I've addressed this council yet. This is my 15th year on the Harbor Commission. And it dawned on us earlier this year that we have not ever, that I've been involved, made a presentation to the council and to the Belmar public as to what's going on, what we've been able to do, and what is the status of the marina operations. So we decided to try a hand at that this year. So thanks for indulging us and sitting through this presentation. So obviously you can read up there, but Harbor Commission makes recommendations, slip rentals, gas sales, concessions, other things like that. And they go directly to the council for approval. The harbor, the marina, as you probably know, is one of the few revenue generating entities in the town. And so we don't want it to be neglected or overlooked sometimes, as it should be a well-run organization and facility as possible. So just the way the income has grown over the past couple of years, Our fuel revenues are up there at 320,000. Net slip revenue, $656,000. So the total revenue is $976,000. So we're $1 million enterprise. And slip rentals are obviously, they go up and down with various other factors, but we've been on a pretty good run, and we're, I think, what was the final numbers as far as being occupancy? We're almost at 100%.
Almost 100%,
Yeah.
yes.
And, starting from the years when we were redoing the marina with Marina Grill, where we were, under 50% for a while. This year we instituted a capital recovery fee. So what has always been the case for years, the marina needs work done, we need docks built, we need dredging, and then the town has to go back and bond out the money. So we decided this year, why don't we start some sort of sinking fund, pardon the pun there, to try and collect some revenue that we can use towards capital and infrastructure programs down the road. So we were able to attach a capital recovery fee onto the sale of the fuel, and hopefully we'll be able to have that in place. So one of the next projects we do, we might not have to take out bonds or for not nearly as much money. Now, of course, that would depend on the sinking fund actually being there and not having been sunk. So we've been standardizing and consolidating some rates. Just for this past year, we've removed some discounts on some renovated slips, and we changed some slips that were charter to party boats. That brought in an additional $22,000. After renovations, and our slip number 9, bringing that an additional $29,000. So our total increased revenue from just reorganizing the rates and the slips this year, the increase was $51,000. So capital funding, the last principal and interest on the bond was paid in December of 2023. And for capital funding going forward, we have $1.440 million. This is for the gas docks and some pilings and some things like that. And our anticipated principal and interest payment of $221,000 is less than the previous payments that we had in 23. So we're heading in the right direction, trying to keep a handle on all that. So we have replaced the gas docks repairs and pilings. I mean, we didn't. We were supervised. Our great marina staff is really on top of all that. But here you can see Jay Ferrari, the marina supervisor, and James. As you probably know, Jay has been promoted to marina supervisor this year, which has given the marina a little more autonomy to act and be more responsive to marina issues as they come up. And it's worked out very well, and he's been fantastic in the job, and it's just been a great move for the marina and I think for the town. And we do have very interactive public meetings. It gets quite lively sometimes, especially when we're talking about changing of the rates. And we get members of the public coming in, slip holders, the charter boat captains are there, and it's every meeting we always have some of the members of the public there. We're trying for better communication, as we seen this last year with the bridge closings. There are various things that go on that haven't had a direct link to the town or the marinas that are affecting our marina operations. Between the Department of Transportation and New Jersey Transit and Monmouth County, there's all these entities, governing the railroad bridge being raised, the repairs on the Route 71 bridge being raised, and our charter boat captains and other marina operators and users had no idea of some of the changes happening, so they were shut out of doing business on some days because there was no communication. So through the help of some of our charter boat captains who have gone out of their way to establish some of these relationships, for some of these government officials. We're trying to formalize it and keep the channels open so these things won't come as a surprise, and we'll get a better handle on when we look to have them completed, and it'll be easier to manage for the charter boat captains and for the visiting public to know when we are open and can get out to the ocean when we can. So another project we have going forward is the electrical accounts and the electrical meters in the town are all lumped together. And so we had, who was doing that, Lorraine?
Yeah.
Lorraine was grouping together the readers, the electric readers that control the marina operations. So we're trying to group them so we can see exactly how much of an electrical expense the marina is undergoing all the time. And as we're always looking at rates, always looking at fees to make sure the marina stays profitable, everyone knows electrical rates are going up a lot lately, and if we can't get a handle on what component of our whole operations that is, we won't be able to effectively keep up with that. So that's something we're trying to pay attention to, and hopefully we'll have some good news to report on that as far as organization this year. And that's really it. We hope to do this once a year to just give a status quo of what's going on, and we're very happy to work with the town and the marina supervisor people, and we feel that our primary responsibility is for the Belmar taxpayer, who is the owner of this great marina, and we want to be very successful in making it the best it can be. So thank you guys very much.
If I can take a moment to say thank you to the entire Harbor Commission, including Bob Lynch is back there. We also have Bill McKim, Dickie Kinney, Joe Rolla, now Councilman Mike de Blasio, our newest member, and who am I missing? And of course Jason and Jay always join us.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Everyone's worked really hard this year, and it's been a great group to work with. So thank you for your presentation.
We just do like a one, it's like in with the. Okay. Yeah.
Would you like us to put that?
Sure, that'd be great.
Oh no, you guys are gonna miss my spelling.
I like it there.
It should be on a podium almost, like, it's kind of cool. Can you make us a podium? Oh no, we have a podium, never mind.
Here we go, next Belmar.
Yeah. Well done, guys, it came out great.
Thank you.
Really is.
Okay, it looks like that's it for our presentations. Let's move on to workshop discussion. Does anyone have anything they would like to discuss at the workshop?
I would like to bring up one thing that kind of came to our attention recently. First of all, I want to say thank you to Billy and everybody who participated in the storm and helped with all the storm cleanup. I mean, it was a disaster. I'm so sorry for everybody who went to shovel, like me, through ice, and it was brutal. But there was a little bit of a glitch that came up at the senior building there. I don't know if you're aware.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to address that perhaps? And because Billy did help out over at the senior building. Maybe Johanna, you could explain a
Well,
little too.
I think let's start with the facts. Number one, the senior building is not a borough building. Okay, and the parking lot is not a borough parking lot. So it really is up to the commissioners of the Belmar Housing Authority to provide for the snow removal, just as they do the grass cutting and maintenance of the building. That would be something that the commissioners of the Housing Authority would need to provide for. But traditionally, I know that we plow the parking lot just as a matter of courtesy. And Billy, you can correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but I know DPW does do it. We don't have to do it, but we do it. And I think today, I got a few calls also that obviously plowing the parking lot doesn't mean going in between the cars and doing all that kind of stuff. And I think that's where the conflict arose, and that some of the seniors were upset that the cars were still locked in. But it's really not our responsibility to do that. I mean, they do have a maintenance person who could conceivably, if somebody needs their car dug out, dig it out. I drove by at around, it was a little later in the afternoon, and it really, it wasn't that bad, but it's not something that you could ride over, like back over, because there was always a little bit of a bump there. But, a little bit of shoveling would have taken care of it.
Yeah.
But,
So,
so that's the issue as far as I know at this point.
Just thank you for clarifying that, because I do think that there was this misconception that the DPW was responsible for what goes over on at the VHA, and I think people thought that they should have been the ones, and it is a safety issue for sure, especially when there's ice, but I just wanted to thank you for clarifying that point.
I just want to take this opportunity to say that DPW not only had an incredible workload over the past couple of days, but they did go out there and above and beyond. And I do also want to say, I was over there for a little bit helping shuffle some of the car out, and there was a resident there who asked to remain nameless, so I am keeping that anonymity.
There you go.
There it is, that's the word. But I do want to say thank you. You also, just as a resident, went above and beyond, and everyone appreciates all you do. So thank you.
I'm just going to add too that everyone needs to have a little patience,
Yes.
because there's a lot of snow and there's a lot of ice, and it was a unique event. I mean, I was out there shoveling before it rained, and then it rained, and then it got frozen, and so it was a difficult thing even for homeowners to keep on top of. And of course, yesterday and today you wake up and then you have like 2 inches of ice if you haven't shoveled. So it is kind of difficult to deal with. I think most people have done, have tried to like clean their sidewalks as best they can. I know there are some people who haven't, but the ordinance really doesn't. It requires you to clean it, but it says also if there's ice on the sidewalk, you just have to throw like sand or ashes or something else just to make sure that it's not slippery. So I just bring that up to everyone's attention. But I mean, I think it's just a difficult storm, and plus the temperatures haven't gone up at all. So the ice just keeps getting harder. If it melts a little bit during the day, it refreezes. But I think everyone has done a pretty good job. I will ask, I noticed many people did clean the fire hydrants, but as I drove around, there are some that are still buried a little bit. So again, I know it's back-breaking work, but if anybody out there, has a fire hydrant in front of their house, just try to do the best you can to clean it a little bit, and I'm sure the fire company will appreciate that. Kevin?
Yeah, Mayor, also to that point, if you happen to live on the corner, you're responsible for going to the street also. And you just don't do around. I mean, you need access to the street, both sides. And as a follow-up to the BHA, I spoke with Billy. We're going to have a follow-up meeting with the BHA so everybody's on the same page on who does what. And it's, like you mentioned, it's a courtesy, and I think they think it's expected. So we're going to have a meeting, get on the same page.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as far as the corners go too, I think again, we have to use our common sense and discretion as to how much you can do. Yeah, some of them are very, very high, and I know some people have done one corner, which is fine. I don't think anybody's gonna get ticketed for, over the next 4 or 5 days for not shoveling their sidewalks. But, do the best you can. I know a lot of people have hired, I myself have hired, people walking along, want to shovel for you. I said, sure, go ahead, do it. But I think it's just important to have a little discretion, have a little patience, common sense, and I think we'll get through this. Hopefully there'll be no other storm next week. But it is winter, so I just think we will just have to do the best we can, help out neighbors if we can. Anything else?
Yeah, Mayor. I would actually like to thank all the residents who listened to the Nixle alert and the 911 to move their cars off the street, because it did help tremendously in the plowing efforts, and a lot of the borough lots were used, the Marina, Borough Hall, Dempsey Park, and it just made the plowing process go a whole lot smoother.
I would comment that I noticed that too. After I turned around, I was like, wow, the streets look really good. You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to add, as far as the snow, the sidewalks, I know there's an ordinance for how many days after the storm sidewalks have to be cleared, and obviously this is an extreme storm. We're going to give some leniency to that. But
Yes,
the
I would, yeah.
The temperature
is 24 hours.
It is 24 hours is the ordinance, but
Yeah.
there is another potential storm coming. The temperatures are not going down. This is not going anywhere. So if the public out there, whoever's watching or here, if you haven't cleaned your sidewalk, please get it done before the weekend, because it's just gonna make the next storm a nightmare for yourself.
Yeah, let me just read what that ordinance says, so we're all clear. This is 27.3.1. It says, the owner or owners of premises abutting or bordering upon any street in the borough shall remove or cause to be removed all snow and ice from the abutting sidewalks of such streets, or in the case of ice, which may be so frozen as to make removal impracticable, shall cause the same to be thoroughly covered with sand, salt, or cinders within 24 hours after the same shall form or be formed thereon. So that was my reference to the ice, and just putting sand or some other kind of salt or something, cinders, to make it less slippery. I walk my dogs like 3 times a day, and I'm going from sidewalks that have been cleaned and some that haven't been. And I'll tell you, the ones that haven't been, it's not that dangerous because the ice is this thick. The real problem occurs when we shovel and then it freezes. So now you have I don't call it black ice, but now you got this thin ice that's like really slippery. So it's almost, I wouldn't say better not to do it, but for those people who haven't done it, like some people in my area are not year-round homeowners. So, if they haven't made arrangements, the snow is still there. So, but they should have had somebody throwing something on it to make it less slippery. But I agree with Councilman de Blasio. Try to get it cleaned up before the weekend, because there is a potential that we might get another snowfall, and we don't want to have to deal with that, next weekend. So patience.
And ashes, I never knew. Ashes is a good idea. A lot of us have fireplaces and wood burning, and ashes,
Yeah.
but still, it's all to be done.
Good for the environment, recycling
Okay. Anything
too.
else for the workshop?
Yeah, I just want the council to also know that there is a ongoing salt shortage.
Oh, yeah.
So we do have a substantial amount of salt left, but the vendor that we get it from, which is the county, they said they're waiting on it. They've been waiting on a shipment for 9 days. So it's going to be hard to come across relatively soon.
And unfortunately, if it's coming from the west, they're having snow too, so I gather the supply is dwindling down as it gets to the East Coast.
They're dumping it as they drive here.
Yeah, they're dumping it along as they're coming to the East Coast. So again, patience, be careful on the streets. I went through the streets. Many of the streets are excellent. Some still have some snow on them. Again, to residents that might be listening, please don't throw snow out on the street, because that just defeats the whole purpose of us, plowing the streets. And I think most people have been very, very good about that.
So are the
try not to.
The plowing efforts are done now, right? Are you guys still throwing sand or anything else on the street that you have? Or there's still some icy.
Yeah, we are using the salt very sparingly.
Yeah.
The plowing efforts have stopped only for the mere fact that the snow is so frozen that we can't move it unless we use the machinery. And right now we're utilizing it all to remove the mounds of snow and just make parking more available for the plaza, Main Street, all the stores, borough properties. So unfortunately, we're going to be looking at it for a while.
Yeah. Should people generally stay off the boardwalk?
Yes.
Yeah,
That'd be a good
it's
idea.
gotta be a sheet of ice, right?
Yeah,
I haven't been
I'd
up
imagine.
It is, yeah.
I did see actually a bulldozer and a truck taking snow away. So, you
Yeah.
know, it is happening.
Yeah,
Our-
we've been carting snow for 2 days straight now. There's a mini Mount Everest in the marina.
Okay. Any other workshop discussion?
I'm just kind of still learning the ropes a little bit. If I've got a question about a resolution, do I bring it up at the workshop?
You can bring it up now. We can talk about it.
Okay. In regard to the resolution number 42, the appointing and confirming appointments to the Community Development Program, the county, what exactly does that organization do?
Okay, funny you should ask that. Let me tell you what it is. I don't know, I have a copy of the cooperation contract, and I'm not sure, April, did everyone get that? The agreement?
No.
Okay, this is the CDBG contract, and I think it's a good thing even for the public to understand where this comes from. And it's an agreement between the County of Monmouth and certain municipalities located for the establishment of a cooperative means of conducting certain community development activities. And it's in the form of an ordinance. And it says, whereas Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, as amended, commonly known as the Community Development Block Grant Program, that's where they get the CDBG from, provides for substantial federal funds being made to certain urban counties for use therein. And I'll skip some of this. Whereas this act establishes certain criteria which must be met in order for a county to be this recipient of said funding. And whereas the Interlocal Services Act provides a mechanism through which counties and municipalities may enter into agreements for the provision of joint services. It is therefore agreed by the County of Monmouth, and this was an old agreement, in the Borough of Belmar as follows. And the first section, A, talks about the community development planning process. And it talks about what the purpose of it is. And it says, it's a little long, but just bear with me. It says the purpose of this agreement is to establish a legal mechanism through which county government may apply for, receive, and disperse federal funds available to eligible urban counties under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974, as amended, commonly known as Community Development Block Grant Program, and to take such actions in cooperation with the participating municipalities as may be necessary to participate in the benefits of this program. Federal funds received by the county shall be for such functions as community renewal, water and sewer facilities, neighborhood facilities, public facilities, housing rehabilitation, open space, and such other purposes as are authorized by the Act. Nothing contained in this agreement shall deprive any municipality or other unit of local government of any powers of zoning, development, control, or other local authority which presently possesses, nor shall any participant be deprived of any state or federal aid to which it might be entitled in its own right, except as herein provided. So that's the purpose of the program. Now, as part of the program, they establish a committee. And it says, this is hereby established, there is hereby established a cooperative community development block grant committee consisting of one representative from each participating municipality and two representatives of the county government, each to be appointed for 1 year period coinciding with the calendar year. The chief executive, with the consent of the governing body of each participating agency, shall make the one appointment. And then it talks about the responsibilities of the committee. And it talks about electing a chairperson, and then they have to, with the board of chosen freeholders, which are now commissioners, create an administrative liaison officer, and then after the committee's established, they need to meet promptly and establish rules, and then basically they will study and talk about community development, the needs of the county, and also the needs of the municipalities. And ultimately, it says, the committee shall develop in full consultation with the Monmouth County Community Development Office and all the affected agencies of local government involved, priorities for the actual utilization of such funds as are made available from the federal government under this title. Okay, so that's really the major thing that the committee is going to do. The committee shall recommend for each project or activity to be carried out with these funds a specific means of accomplishment. This may be for the county to carry out the project or function, or a municipality to receive the monies to carry it out, or for some other combination of local or state agencies. So, and the rest of it has to do with standards of performance. So basically, to answer your question, it's a mechanism. The county gets money from the federal government, and then the county creates this entity, this agency, which is then going to, this committee is going to look at what the needs are of the county and of various municipalities, and then they're going to decide basically how to divvy up the program monies. And that's how it operates every year.
All right, thank you. I did look online and I couldn't make sense of it, but April's communication out to all of us said that if we don't appoint somebody, we won't be a voting member. Who has been our voting members the last couple of years?
Mr. King has been the voting member for the last 3 years.
He's been the representative.
The representative, well,
Same thing.
Yeah, the voting member.
yeah, well, he's the representative.
All right.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that it's, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Based on the fact that it's for the community, was there any attempt to maybe reach out to an engineer or somebody in town that lives in town to serve in that role?
No, and quite frankly, I think most, I won't say all, but most of the municipalities that are involved appoint their borough administrators or town administrators to do this.
Understood.
I don't know, how many times do they meet?
Just
Once?
Yeah, you submit the projects, each town submits projects.
Okay.
And then the list is sent out to all the different municipalities, and then you grade them. And then there's a meeting when they actually vote on, and based on those scores, like they'll go down to a certain amount of money, and then those projects, until they, hit their threshold, those projects are awarded. So.
Is it like if you got one last year, is it likely you're not gonna get one this year? I mean, is it kind of be fair
I
to
think
all?
our last one was the Belmar Plaza work in 23. Jim is.
I just saw one about is that the ADA, improvements?
Yeah, all the improvements in Belmar Plaza, all the ADA, the sidewalks and the ADA improvements. Right.
To the chairman, and we actually have a project that was awarded. It's for ADA upgrades to replace the door here
Right,
at
that's
the
the one I
municipal
saw.
complex.
Front door here.
Along with the, the actuators, push buttons and everything else. And then the same thing at Taylor Pavilion. Take a look at the doors and make sure that from an ADA compliance standpoint, that you do have the actuators so that someone entering or exiting the building can hit the button, so to speak.
So in my mind, I gather that all the municipalities in the county part of this, or?
The ones who want to be are.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
If you want to be
probably.
considered for federal money, you have to be part of this, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, there's usually a list of 20, 25 different projects in any year.
And it's not guaranteed that we're gonna get our project every year, because I assume it goes around the, priorities. Like if I got it last year, I'm not gonna get it next year, that type of thing.
Yeah, it has to be ranked, a project that everybody feels is a feasible project and something that should be done, and then you vote accordingly.
All right, so the committee votes on who's gonna get those projects.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Did that answer your question?
Is it, so it's kind of like, it's almost a competition between the towns who can get their projects approved within the county?
I wouldn't say it's really a competition, but everybody, administrators talk to each other, and, you know, if it's a viable project for a particular town that, you know, has interest, you know, it'll vote, you know, favorably on that. So, there's X number of dollars that you're competing for, to your point, and then once they hit that threshold, so, you know, maybe they'll fund 15 projects in any given year, you know, so if you rank in that top 15, 10, whatever the dollar amount is for any particular year. So, I guess to your point, you are competing, but it's usually, you know, everybody just talks to each other and you know, see which projects will work the best for particular towns.
I guess my purpose in asking that question is, you know, you're going to compete against other towns in Monmouth County, and you represent another town in Monmouth County. Could that create a conflict of interest? Questions for you, Mr. McGill, representing Belmar and Freehold.
Do you represent Freehold? No. You,
I don't represent Freehold.
who represents?
No, the question,
He's an appointed, he's an elected official of Freehold, and that could, you know, if there's money that can be split up, and could go to Belmar or go to Freehold, that could be seen as a conflict.
The way I understand it is, though, the decisions are more or less a consensus decision, right? In other words, no one person has an ultimate decision as to who gets what. I mean, you said there's like 20.
It has to rank in the top X number that, you know, until that threshold money runs out, you know, so whether it's 10, 15 projects, you know, it has to rank within that top.
But I mean, all of the people that are on the committee have a vote.
Correct.
Okay.
And you rank them 1 through however many projects there are. Right. You know, your top all the way down, and then they tally it up, and then the top vote getters, and it goes down from there.
So I mean, theoretically, the top voter could get 20 votes. If there's 20, or they could get 10 votes, depending upon what.
They score. They have some kind of matrix where they score it. So, like, you know, your number 1 project through 20. Right. You know, so obviously the less number is probably the winner in their matrix, and then it goes down until they hit the threshold.
Has anyone ever complained it's been like unfair? Like, no.
Not that I know of.
Okay. And some of these projects go for the county too. Does the county get some of this money? Or they've already?
No.
No, it's really.
County allocates the money to the municipalities, and then they do the projects.
I have a question. How much typically is the amount of money that the federal government gives to be divvied up amongst all these municipalities? A round number.
I'm not sure. Jim, any idea on that? Like, I know it varies from year to year based on what they get from the federal government.
It's consistently been reducing because the federal government has been reducing the funding for that program. I want to say that the award that Belmar got in 2020, I think it was the 2025 cycle, was around $100,000. So using the math, it's probably around $1 million, something like that gets divided up amongst the towns that are in a funding year. And as I understand the program, Belmar is only eligible every other year, and every town is only eligible every other year because the county administrators kind of ride herd over that. And you have to have the money and spend it and then have it reimbursed to be eligible. So our next round of eligibility would be next year. Belmar would be in next year's program, provided that project gets done, spent, and reimbursed. Right. I think the agreements, I don't know if April remembers off the top of her head, but I think the agreements have been received and executed for that project. So it's just a matter of moving forward with the project.
They're going out today.
That's a 2025 project.
It was
So in
awarded
other
in
words, we would be
2025.
eligible for a 2026 project.
Correct.
With the next eligibility is 2027.
That's my understanding of how they're running the program, yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any other workshop issues? Okay, let's move on then to petitions. Do we have any petitions?
I have not received any petitions.
Okay, approval of the minutes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the December 29th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the January 5th, 2026 meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Councilman de Blasio?
Yes.
Councilman Maroney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes. Now we're on to reports of council. Councilwoman Donovan?
The Belmar Environmental Commission is working on creating the community energy plan. We've been meeting with borough staff to get input on a multi-year plan to save energy and make Belmar more sustainable and save us money. It includes an energy audit of all the borough buildings. This audit, which will happen in the next few weeks, is free to Belmar and its value is estimated at about $150,000. We have more good news, which is that we were awarded a Resilient New Jersey grant in partnership with Monmouth County, Avon, Neptune City, Neptune Township, and Wall Township in the amount of $292,773.25. So the amount coming to Belmar will be $25,000. This is a planning study and an incredibly important partnership that's necessary for positive change in the inlet and the marina. To have all these people working together, both the towns and the county, is really, really great for us. I work with our Environmental Commission and Charlie Vanderman specifically from DPW to get this done, so I want to say thank you to them very, very much. That being said, I'm going to take a little bit of Council President Kinney's usual number and talk about, so Thursday is the school finals for the spelling bee at Belmar Elementary. And and also the next Parade Day fundraiser is this Sunday, February 1st at Bar A. That comes with a $20 donation. Now, to do a little cross marketing, I have a challenge for everyone here. So, first person to come up and successfully spell, this is from the hard words, silhouette tonight or whenever.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, no phones.
Look it up.
Can win a free Parade Day t-shirt. I will show you the design. It's really cool this year. Here we go. It's long sleeves, black. Very cool, right? So I got a couple different sizes. So first one to spell it correctly, you win a shirt. All right, here we go. 2 to 6.
All right, silhouette, S-I-L.
I gotta identify yourself first.
I don't want to, unless I get it right. Joe McAvoy, 700 Main Street. Silhouette, S-I-L-H-O-U-E-T-T-E.
All right, what size you want? We got large, extra large. What are you thinking? This is XL.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. Good job, Joe. And besides that, all is in order, Mayor.
I think we should have that contest every week, right? Makes the council meeting, every contest every week.
Yeah.
Okay, Council President Kinney.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the Shade Tree Commission is planting a new variety of redbud trees between 10th Ave and 12th Ave on Main Street this spring, and whenever we thaw out. They're only supposed to be like 8 feet tall, so they shouldn't be too large, and they're supposed to be vase-shaped, beautiful trees. Also, we're going to be adding mulch mats to the trees on Main Street, which look nicer, retain water, prevent weeds, and they also, you don't get that mulch everywhere, and the dogs dig it up and whatever, so that should help. And they're adding fertilizer spikes to all the trees on Main Streets and the plaza. And if all goes well tonight, they will be reappointing Bill Brash as our arborist for the upcoming year. Recreation, junior guard sign-ups start February 1st. This has been a hot commodity in Belmar. We've sold out of junior guard spaces in the past, so you must be between the ages of 6 and 15 years old, and you must be 6 by July 1st. The cost for a Belmar resident, if approved tonight, will go up to $175. A non-resident will be $195. There is additional information about requirements if your child does want to start, join junior guards this year. It's a great program. I highly recommend it. My kids both went through it. It's a wonderful program.
Here they got some great counselors too.
Yes. Who might be being promoted up to lifeguard this year. Fingers crossed he passes the swim test. Okay. Now, moving on, baseball and softball clinic sign-ups begin February 1st. You know about that?
No.
Okay. Cost is $10. Clinics begin in March. All additional information about baseball and softball is also on the website. The Recreation Department would like to thank Belmar resident and WNBA player Maria Mabry for her $5,000 donation to the Belmar Recreation Basketball Fund. So fantastic donation from Maria Mabry. And it's coming sooner than later. The Easter egg hunt is scheduled for Saturday, March 21st. More details to come on that. And that is all I got, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilman de Blasio?
Yes, first, we covered the Harbor Commission, so thank you, Councilwoman Donovan. The Planning Board met on January 12th. We heard a project on 12th Avenue that was approved. And then we started hearing the project for Executive West, which is the March Built project across from Klein's. This project, it was not complete. It will be finished being heard on February 9th at 7 p.m., which is when we will hold a public session at that hearing. That project was one of the declaratory judgment interveners with a settlement for 139 units. 115 will be market rate for sale, and 24 affordable housing rentals. It has a 2-level garage with 225 spaces. So if you would like to be heard, please come to the meeting on February 9th.
Okay. You're next.
I want to add my voice to the people who thanked DPW and the police during the most recent storm. I just also want to point out that the fire department, both firehouses were fully staffed. Volunteers were sleeping overnight in the house to make sure that there was not a response issue getting to the firehouse. So they were willing to come away from their families and do that. So I really appreciate them for doing that and for the excellent job that the police, fire, and EMS all did as well.
Excellent.
And DPW.
Okay, and since everybody has made all their updates, I don't really have anything to update anymore. So let's move on to the public session on all of the resolutions.
If anyone has a comment or question about a resolution on the agenda, please step forward, state your name and address. Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Councilman de Blasio?
Yes.
Councilman Maroney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Next we have Resolution 2026-34, resolution appointing and confirming various municipal professionals, which are the arborist and affordable housing administrative agent. Would someone like to make a motion to adopt this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay. Is there
Are there any discussion at this point? Would anyone?
I don't know why this one was pulled out, honestly.
I got the information I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Councilman de Blasio?
Yes.
Councilman Maroney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckafusco?
Yes.
Okay. Next is Resolution 2026-41, resolution to approve change order number 1 for the project known as 2023 MA improvements to 5th Avenue Phase 1. Do we have a motion to offer this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay.
Discussion?
Yes, if you don't mind, Mr. Orris, I just have some questions. Some of the backup that I got here is it's rather vague. It's just, there's a lump sum for lost time somewhere. Services not shown on plans. Can you kind of detail what some of those services were? Because that's $25,000 right there. And then as far as the unit cost and some of the lump sums, were those unit prices part of the bid, or were those able to be negotiated?
So, good evening, everyone. So the change order items that we're talking about, where it says that there was services not marked on a plan, what that really means is that the services were not marked out in the field. So they were water or sewer services that were not in the location that they were marked out as. And we also had an issue with the gas company, wherein there was an additional gas main that was not marked out. So there was some downtime because they hit the gas main and they lost time, crew time with that. And then, what was your last question?
The unit prices, were those part of the contract bid? A lot of times when you do public bid, they have unit prices for extras to cover. Were those part of the bid, or were those negotiated items?
These items on the change order were negotiated items, but the bid that was received had unit prices for various work items. So in the event there was similar work done as a part of a change order, we would use that as the basis of the unit price. So for example, if there was extra concrete curb, they have to abide by that price. But if it's not within the bid that we took, then that's negotiated.
Meaning something totally new. You didn't know there was a 4-inch insertion valve, it wasn't a unit price. That was just something that came in.
The issue with the insertion valves that were needed on the project was because the valving in and around the project area could not be turned off. So for whatever reason, the water main was still alive and active, and the only way to shut it down was to have the insertion valve installed. When we design these projects, we're counting on the valving working, and there are several issues that we ran into where the Public Works couldn't shut the water down.
Correct.
Some of it might be inoperable valves. So I know that the borough has a requirement to exercise their valves yearly, the 8-inch valves, and I believe they're doing that. So as Public Works is finding if the valves are not operational, then we should look to make those a project, so that in the future, God forbid you have a water main break, you need to be able to shut the water off. And what happens is, if you can't shut it off locally, then you have to radiate out further, and then that means more people would have their water shut off to their house. So it's important that the valves are identified as operational, or if they're not operational, they should be put into a program to have them replaced or repaired.
Thank you.
I have one quick question regarding that as well. The TV existing sewer in lieu of test pits, was that done because it was less expensive, or the test pits weren't practical? And is the cost of the test pits going to be pulled out of the building?
Another good question. So we had the contractor do several test pits, but there were areas where it was more cost effective to do the televising of the line. One of the issues that we ran into with Fifth Avenue in particular is the lack of information about the existing facilities. And as a matter of fact, I think we hit another water main that was not active during the construction, which was not marked out anywhere. There was a discussion about whether we should have that pipe removed. It would have been an additional cost. It was determined that that old inactive water main can stay there. But there was actually two sewer mains on Fifth Avenue. We replaced those with one sewer main in the center of the street, which is your normal. So, to answer your question, I'm sorry I was so long-winded. It was more cost-effective to do the televising in certain situations where we can't find a lateral.
I guess the last question would be, and I'm probably speaking for most residents, especially the ones on Fifth Avenue, what's the timeline for this project, and has it been affected by the change orders?
The timeline has not been affected by the change orders. This project was actually awarded in I want to say it was probably June of 2025, and the determination was made that the contractor would not start until after the summer because of the high volume of people on Fifth Avenue. That pushed the project out into the timeline that we have now. Contractor could not get all of the work done before winter closed out. quite frankly, when you're doing concrete work, you don't wanna have it done right in December. The temperatures are not conducive to concrete, but at the same time, salt eats new concrete. So if Public Works is using salt, it would damage the newly poured concrete. So once the weather breaks, the concrete work will be accomplished, and then the contractor will be in a position to pave. I'm figuring it's gonna be weather dependent, late March, early April for paving. And one last thing, contractor is obligated to maintain the trenches, so after the storm, as things clean up, we'll have the contractor go back out and get top patch and do temporary repairs on the trenching. Make it as best as it can be. Okay? Thank you.
I'll just add my 2 cents, since I live on Fifth Avenue. They did a lot of work, and I could tell when there was something that wasn't right, because all of a sudden, something would stop and there'd be, like the gas leak. I smelled the gas leak from a block away, or the water leaks and things like that. So I knew just from watching what was going on, it was, there were some issues. But other than that, I could tell when they were on a roll, because they kind of just like had a method to doing whatever it is, whether they were replacing a water line or a sewer line. They had a fairly good way of doing it until they came up with a few little. I know there was an issue on Fifth and D, because I know I told you then there's water leaking, and they had to come back and fix that.
Yeah, that was the situation where the water
couldn't shut her off.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, I think that the valve was closed, but it wasn't, when it was in a closed position, it would leak.
It would leak.
But when you put it in fully open position, it would not leak.
I have that in my basement, actually.
It's coming when you say proud.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks for explaining what green concrete is.
Okay.
Anything, where are we at?
We have to vote on
We gotta
it.
vote on it, yeah. Okay, Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Councilman de Blasio?
Yes.
Councilman Maroney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Okay, and last resolution is 2026-42, resolution appointing and confirming appointments to the Community Development Program representatives for 2026. Do you have a motion to offer this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Any comments, discussion?
George, I'd like to defer to you with my prior question about the conflict.
Yeah, Mike, I can, as I sit here right now, give you an answer on that. Conflicts are fairly important things. So,
Is there a chance we can delay this to discuss this further, or we don't want to lose our, like I said, we don't want to lose our vote?
Well, I would say in general that we've been awarded the grants since Mr. Kane has been our representative on there, that would indicate the lack of a problem.
I think the worst case, the better case is to do the appointment, and if council feels that there is a conflict, then we have to redo it. But at least from the county's perspective, we will have someone on board to do that.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right, right, and then so we leave it open, because we don't wanna cut ourselves off. Let's keep it going, and then if we do in fact find there's a conflict, then we'll deal with it.
Are we certain that if we make this appointment, we can change it later? If we run into that kind of situation?
I would think that they have to let you do that. I mean, what if a person gets sick, or, you know what I mean? There's gotta be a mechanism to do that.
Yeah. To appoint somebody else? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a problem.
Yeah, any number of reasons you would have to appoint
Right.
somebody else. Yeah, sick, dead, retired.
Right, so, I mean, I think we leave it at that.
Not wishing anything like
I
that.
didn't want to say that, but, no.
He's right next to you, George.
I wasn't
Yeah.
talking about that. Just in general.
I think we're ready for a vote.
Okay, Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Councilman de Blasio?
No.
Councilman Maroney?
No.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Okay, next is ordinance 2026-1. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 25, State Uniform Construction Code fees. I believe Councilman de Blasio is going to recuse himself.
Yes.
Okay.
Step down, right?
You don't have to.
You know,
Do we have a motion to offer this ordinance for first reading and introduction?
Motion?
Second.
Okay, Councilwoman Donovan,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney,
Yes.
Councilman Maroney,
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco.
Yes.
Now we're on to public session. Please remember to.
I just like to make, before we get into the public, I did have one thing I wanted to bring up a workshop with Mr. Kane about the bridge. The deadline was parade day, correct? Are we still on track for that? Parade day is March 1st.
Okay. DOT reached out to us and Avon, and they were talking to us about if we would be interested in them working round the clock to hit that March 1st deadline. There's a lot of residents in that area, and we collectively decided that wouldn't be a good idea, because in the middle of winter, you have banging, we don't know what kind of noise there are, and if it's in the middle of the night, there's gonna be some problems with that. And there was no guarantees that they were gonna be done by that March 1st deadline, even with working round the clock. So we, both towns, the mayors of both towns, pretty much decided that, no, keep your regular work schedule. They'll do as much as they possibly can, and then if they need to, it'll be open for parade weekend. So for the volume of people during that entire weekend, it will be open for that. But then most likely they'll close it back down again to complete the work with a guarantee that it's gonna be done by the summer when we absolutely need it the most. Mary,
My concern, Kevin brought this to my attention, and I thought about it for a little bit, and I said, I really think we need to have them do what they can to open it temporarily for the parade. Because my fear was, if we had agreed to do it 24 hours, we would have been there a few days before the parade, and they would have said, oh, we're not finished. And then we're going to be like, oh, so, because, they're going behind, they had assured us months ago that it would definitely be done by parade day. So I'd rather know that it's going to be open, closed, whatever you want to say, usable for the parade, and then after the parade, they can start work again.
My question is,
By parade weekend, you mean by Friday through Sunday, they'll get back to work on Monday? Is that what the agreement was?
correct. Open for the entire weekend of parade day weekend. So most likely they'll stop on Friday, close the bridge back up, you allow traffic, and then Monday morning, do the same thing, open it back up, and then keep working.
so do we have to notify the marina? That was gonna be my question, is the bridge gonna be operational, like for any boat traffic, on that date? Because being on the harbor commission,
No, I
don't
think
need to let them
It's our
know.
impression that bridge is going to be operational, just like it would be.
If you could definitely, let's get that clarified, so we give them advance notice if it's gonna be stuck, closed.
I don't know if they can do that.
They're not legally allowed, yeah.
Because the waterway has the rights, so I don't think they could just keep it in a closed position.
Okay.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, the boat
You're
traffic
right.
has it right away.
The boat traffic.
Coast Guard.
It has to be functioning like it normally would, but.
Otherwise, they can't block it closed, basically.
Vehicle traffic, pedestrian traffic could use it, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll confirm that.
Yeah, I think we also need to confirm when they're going to have it operational, so we know, we can let the public know, exactly what day. And we can confirm at the same time that it's going to be operational for the voting. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Public session.
Yep. Anyone have a comment or question, please step forward, state your name and address.
Barry Lubin, 15th Avenue. Number one, I would like to thank, as said before, all of the professionals who worked through this storm and did what they did, especially Billy. I watched those trucks going while I was at home up and down 15th and up and down D Street, hour by hour by hour. And at the end, those pickups are probably pushing it to get that ice done. My question is, with all the advance notice, Nixle, Facebook, and whatever other social medias, there's still cars snowed in, so they did not move. Are there citations being given to those vehicle owners? Because that just makes Billy's guys and girls job that much more difficult. Because I believe we can citation or ticket them.
We can, but at this point, the snow is so hard that the plows can't move the snow. So if you give them a ticket and tell them they have to plow out their car or shovel out their car, now we have amount of snow that is ice.
Okay.
So, there were summonses issued, but right now,
Okay.
we're not
Well,
pushing that issue.
some issue-
Because it's gonna cause more work for this guy right here.
Right. No, I understand 2 days later.
And unfortunately, it's not melting, so it's not gonna go anywhere, and it's gonna sit in the middle of the
You
street.
can even identify the car right now, some of them.
And,
are so
and
you can see a license plate,
we
you
literally
can see
have
a
to
make
dig out
model.
the license plate as well, so.
Right.
Where would you even slide the things? Try and snap the.
We wouldn't put them on the vehicles, they would be mailed to the.
Now, I was just wondering more, because now today, tomorrow, you'll be able to ID the car. So, it still hasn't moved. It should have been moved 4 days ago. So I was wondering if anything would be done now. You know, just my question.
Just to follow up on that, we had a brief discussion, and the reason why I said I thought we should hold off and obviously talk to Mr. McGill about this, if you look at the ordinance, it says, any unoccupied vehicle parked or standing in violation shall be deemed a nuisance and a menace to the safe and proper regulation of traffic, and any police or code enforcement officer may ticket that vehicle. The problem I saw with that is though people are parking in front of their houses so that would technically be an unoccupied vehicle standing in violation. And I know what we mean in terms of somebody who's never moved, but we still have people who are parking, in the street in violation of the ordinance, because it's still in effect. I don't think we put out a nixle saying, that the no parking on the street is has been removed. So I didn't want somebody to say, well, I got a ticket because I never moved my car, but the guy over there, he pulled out of his driveway and he parked there for the whole day. He hasn't got the ticket. How come? I just thought that was a little inconsistent. So.
Yeah, could be. What is the ordinance number?
1910.
Okay.
And we'll have a discussion too about paragraph 2 about the parking on either side of the road. I think that's a little confusing, and I think that should be something where it would be in the mayor's discretion to say that, now we're going to move to the alternate side of the street parking. It's not clear from this, and I think it's confusing to some of the residents as to when that occurs. If it occurs, why is it not occurring? And I think we could clear that up a little bit. But I'll talk to Mr. McGill about that, and also about the unoccupied vehicle part. Maybe we need to just clear up some of the language in that, so we're not ticketing people who are parked just in front of their house. Because right now you can't park on the street because some of the curb has snow on it. So I just wanted to give the court a little bit of a break, because I know people with tickets would come in and say, well, here's a photo of my neighbor who parked outside, and he didn't get a ticket, and I got a ticket. It's just like, the judge doesn't need to hear those things. But we'll work on it. Any other comments?
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Greg Michelina, 14th and Ocean. Thank you very much to the DPW, did a great job. You know, I'm just gonna second that. It's too bad that the young man isn't here that built that box, because I, for one, have put a number of flags in this smaller box, no, right? It's too bad, though, that we can't get some kind of a message out that when your flag is up, you know, all this USA, you know, that when your flag is up and it's shredded, that you don't take it down.
Right.
You're gonna read about me in the paper one day, of being arrested for taking down a flag off of a fishing club, let's say, for example. When the thing has been up there all winter and it's just shredded, or it's in the dirt, like you said about the 4th of July, everybody's putting their flags out in the, you know, in their lawn. And then you walk by a little bit later and they're in the mud. You know, it's either, it's this or this, you know, pay attention, bring it in, you know. Sorry.
There are little flags in there.
Maybe we should shoot for,
shoot
you know, an announcement for July, 4th of July.
250th anniversary, we should all know the rules, right? America.
250th anniversary, we should all know the rules. Our flag rules.
Yeah, our flag rule, you know. Red flag rule.
That's it.
That is a good idea, though. I like it.
Claire Hayner, 18th and B, thank you again. It's everything, you know, ice is ice, what are you gonna do, okay? Just drive slow, especially if you're a senior, drive slow. As far as like, if you live on a corner, to get that pathway through, can it be a tunnel? Just some type of path? Okay, because I mean, at some of the corners, it would be a tunnel to live through, which is okay. I mean, especially when you got Lake Como and Belmar, but dumping it, so. But I did get this much of a path, so we're good. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Don't be shy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ed Slater. I live at 710 8th Avenue, the Belmar Housing Authority over there. And I don't know, I don't want to know really of what's going on over there. I try to mind my own business, but I don't know if the town does this or they're supposed to do it with the snow removal. But I know that the truck, that your car, trucks came in and plowed one lane and a couple slots. And they left the car length behind or in front of other cars where the tenants had to go out and dig it up. This stuff is solid ice. I tried it myself yesterday shoveling, cleaning around my windows. I lasted about 6 or 7 shovels before the cold weather hit me. I slipped and fell on my face into this, the ice. I'm yelling and screaming for help. Somebody help me up. And there was nobody around. Nobody coming out of the building. Nobody heard me. And it took me a little while to get back up. I felt like I was having a heart attack from doing the ice. I know the town doesn't want anybody dying from shoveling snow. I'm 66 years old. I try my best to do what I can for myself, you know. I had to hire somebody this morning to shovel that out. But the snow that was left behind all the cars, a whole full length of it, should have been, I don't know who does the driveways or the parking lot, but it was a total mess. I don't know if the town does it or they have somebody who does it, but I just think it was disrespectful on whoever's part it is to get that cleaned up so we don't have to go through all of that, the tenants themselves. And we had a little tenants meeting earlier, and none of us are very happy about what's going on. I really don't wanna get into the crap that goes on in that building of the Belmar Housing Authority, because they're all a bunch of liars, in my case, my feelings. But, you know, there's been 3, 4, 5, 6 of us that all have fallen on the ice or something. A couple of times, I slipped and fell on the way over here in the parking lot trying to get to my car. I don't know who's in charge of getting that stuff done, whether it's town or the Belmar Housing Authority, but something needs to be addressed about this, because we don't need somebody dying from going out traveling their snow that shouldn't have to be done. The town or the Belmar Housing Authority has the right, they have the right to get this stuff done, they ain't not doing it, you know? I know that you guys don't want that on your heads, if somebody died doing something that they wanted to do to go somewhere. I had to get mine done because I'm a handicap and I got doctor's appointments I have to get to, including tomorrow. I had one today, but I couldn't get out until, I didn't get my stuff done, shoveled until about 3 o'clock this afternoon in order to get out of there. I was just making it aware that nothing really was done over there as far as plowing the right way. Now, I've seen you guys plow, I don't know if it was a town or them, I've seen you guys plow a couple other times since the snow's been coming down. You did a great job. This time, I don't know what was wrong with everybody. Nobody was doing nothing right. You know, it's still a mess over there. There's still snow a car length away from every car. Because, you know, we have other people that live there that say, well, let's all go out and do it together. That's neighbor helping neighbor. But what about the town helping us, or the Belmar Housing Authority helping us? They could care less about us people in that building, the Belmar Housing Authority. You complain about something, they don't want to hear shit. Excuse my language. But, and that's, you know, it's not right, you know. Everybody in this town, I've been here for 40 years. You know, and my nickname is Santa Ed. I play Santa on the boardwalk every Christmas Day and other places around here. And nobody wants Santa to drop dead in the snow, shovel us, you know. And I'm just venting because what happened to me yesterday should have never happened. That's all I got to say. Thanks.
First, let me thank you for your comments, and I believe you might have missed the first part of the meeting when we had a discussion about this, but I can summarize it for you very quickly. The maintenance of that lot is up to the Belmar Housing Authority. Right? That's their lot. The borough does, out of courtesy, go through and plow. Now the remaining snow that's on there is really up to the housing authority to have it cleaned off. So, but we are going to look into that. You really need to bring this up with the housing authority commissioners, because they should be providing, you know, the funds to either hire somebody or have somebody do that when it snows, just like private, you know, businesses do. You know.
Who does what?
Yeah, they're ultimately responsible for that lot, and
they are responsible for nothing.
But we will talk to them about doing a better job in the
We have a
future.
business meeting on the first of something. whenever,
Yeah.
first.
First Monday of the month is the meeting for the
I believe
Water
every
Housing
tenant
Authority.
in the building is coming down to that meeting, and we're gonna, give our pieces of mind. Is what happened to 3, 4, 6 of us, I believe it was total that I heard about today.
Yeah.
Should never happen.
Right.
And Mr. Slater, I just wanted to interject too, please don't miss a doctor's appointment. The Monmouth County does provide free transportation for doctor's appointments. You can send on the website and I'll send over the link, so hopefully management over there can let people know, because I know some people are still a little bit blocked maybe, it's difficult to drive right now, and it might just be a lot safer to get the ride. It's nice accommodations. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you.
appreciate your comments.
Please
Safe
be
getting home.
careful, yeah, please be careful walking home.
Any other comments?
Johanna Robinson, 406 9th Avenue, Belmar. I just want to comment on the fact with the Housing Authority, there was a lot of feedback, there was an issue. I am one of the commissioners and we are working on trying to resolve some of those things. So it's not like it's not going to go unnoticed or resolved. I want to thank Billy for coming over and helping some of the seniors, and Katie Donovan and some other members of the town that did help some of the seniors. I was over there, I noticed it prior to the storm and during the storm that it wasn't being maintained. And some of the excuses were that we didn't have salt and et cetera, but I just want everyone to know that that is something that's going to be followed up on with the commissioners. They are aware of it and they're trying to work through those things and put things in place that we can make it better for the seniors.
Joanna, is it possible to get a bid out or someone by this weekend if we have another storm? Like, this will be a disaster for the seniors if we pile more snow on top of this. Is there a way that we can expedite a meeting to potentially get someone over there by this weekend?
We can follow up on that. I know, like the gentleman said, they had an association, they're putting together an association as far as the tenants association, but as far as the commissioners, I've reached out to some also in regards to that. We know that there is an issue in regards to the maintenance of the building, just in general. So we definitely have to get our arms around that in regards to getting systems in place and holding people accountable that, are supposed to be maintaining those buildings. Okay.
Another suggestion, maybe someone can just coordinate like a volunteer list.
Right.
I mean, there might be people in the community who would, take a half hour, an hour, come over and just help,
That's all.
also another possibility, and, until it's a more permanent solution is
Right.
found.
And we probably most likely can get people together to try to work on that parking lot, or at least the walkways for them, because it is.
Reach out to all of us, Johanna, we'll help out too.
Yeah.
All right, please.
Yeah, all right, thank
All
you.
right, thanks, Johanna. Any other comments? Okay,
Can I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?